Welcome back to Where You Live with Gene and Tony. We're broadcasting from the Concierge Landscape Studios, and we're also brought to you this hour by Extreme Exteriors. We're going to be talking in just a moment, asking a philosophical question. Is a homeowner association like a government? You know, we've used that analogy quite a bit, haven't we?
I do use that analogy. It's a kind of a simplified way of explaining why the association was formed in the first place.
But even though we use it as an analogy is only good, it only goes so far.
Sure.
But in describing things, if people use an analogy and say, oh, you mean that it is literally this, no, because every analogy is going to fall down and break down.
Sure.
And I think the person brings up some good differences between a government and something that would be, they said, is an association a small government? Mm-hmm. Is it quasi-government? Mm. Or is it something else? Mm. I say it's something else, but
okay.
we'll talk about that in just a little bit. But I also want to let our listeners know here in the second hour we've got a resource for you, a newsletter. It's called What's New. Over 18,000 people, can't be wrong. They subscribe to it. It's free.
Sure.
And a lot of what we talk about on the show is covered in further detail. Give us a call, and we'll start making sure you start receiving your free subscription. The number, 952-922-2500. Ask for Courtney, and she'll make sure that you start receiving it either electronically or by mail.
Okay. All right. You know, one of the things we've been doing on the show, Gene, CAI, the Community Associations Institute, has given us 12 scholarship memberships to CAI.
Right.
It's an annual membership, and told us we could give those away to our listeners.
Mm-hmm. And so we've been giving away, 5 so far?
We've given away 5 since September.
Think a majority of them have gone to self-managed homeowner associations, and that's a good thing. It doesn't have to be. That wasn't one of the requirements. But if you're a self-managed association, we want to make sure that you start getting your...
Well, I think especially helpful to a self-managed association because it's a source of information and education, the Community Associations Institute.
And don't you think it'd be a better idea, instead of giving away 1 a month, how about if we give away 2 a month now till we use up our 12?
You want to? All right.
I think so. So we have a winner, and that was last week.
January, we've already given one away to Yvonne Stenholm. She's in a self-managed homeowners association.
Regular listener to
And how
the
did
show.
she win it?
Just because she called in.
That's
and
right.
she had a question.
That's
and so if you were to give us a call, you don't even have to have a question. I mean, if you do, if you have a question on our hotline that you want us to address on next week's show, you can do that. That number is, what is it?
It's 952-224-2668.
Yeah. Leave your name, phone number, email address, something so we can get in contact with you. And we're happy to address your concerns or topics you'd like to hear on our show.
Yep.
Also, if you have no other reason other than you want that membership, if you call and give us that information.
If you're the first caller.
We'll do that, won't we?
That's right. Our past winners, September was Hansina Bendel, who's the treasurer of Auburn South HOA. In October, it was Joyce Ratchkey. She's president of the Spinnaker Cove Club Homes 2 Homeowners Association. They're managed by a firm. In November, Jean Luxem, who's president of Lake West Condominiums, won the scholarship. They're also managed by a property management company. In December, Kay Harwood, who's a member at large at Oakwood Luster Townhomes, a self-managed association. Kay won this scholarship.
Yep. And then Yvonne is our...
And Yvonne was a January winner.
So you can be number 6. Again, that number 952-224-2668.
You don't even have to like us. You don't even have to like our show.
But they do.
Well, of course they do. But I'm just saying.
They like us.
Just
really like us.
Call and leave us a message.
Yes.
If you're the first caller, you'll win a scholarship.
Okay, let's talk about, what I think is an interesting idea. A homeowner association. Is it a government? Is it what's called a quasi-government. It's something else. This was originally an article that was published by a guy named Tyler Birding, and he's an attorney with Birding and Weil in California. Folks, you can, if you were to begin to type in Birding and Weil, and you would get a website that has just a great extensive library. They're prolific writers, and they write some very interesting things. And so they were discussing this concept. What is an association? Because we have boards of directors that, in some aspects, appear to act like a city council. We use that all the time.
And
don't
in
we?
fact, I've used it as an example because people want to know how come my car got towed when it was parked on the street in front of my house.
So give that a little bit of what that analogy is.
Well, the association let you know what the rules were about parking, and the association let you know what the rules were for snow plowing or what was going to be done. But the association cannot come over and knock on your door and ask you to move your car before the snowplow gets there, correct? So it's kind of like a city. You know the parking on the street in Minneapolis, if the snowplows are coming, you get towed.
Yeah.
Same thing can happen in your homeowners association.
And we say that in a lot of times that it is like a city council because you
elected them. The members elected them.
Just like you do the city council. You have the opportunity, or should have the opportunity, to sit in and listen to a city council meeting to see what is being done with your city tax dollars.
And you can sit in on a board meeting to see what they're doing.
Same thing. You have a board president who may act like a mayor a number of times. You have if it's professionally managed, you'll have a property manager who may act like the city manager.
That's right. And the community is founded on the governing documents, which are kind of like a city charter. There's certain things that they have to comply with because your governing documents say so.
But that only goes so far. And some people have been asking about this when it comes to the area of sovereignty. How
does it differ?
How does that differ? What makes it a little bit different when they talk about a government itself? We're talking about. They said here that a government per se has a right to exist or has authority that is sovereign. What it means is that it is limited only by the rights granted to the individuals, and it's by the Constitution.
Okay.
Of in this case, the United States
government. So, are you
government.
saying that the government has all power except for specific rights and powers that are given to its citizens?
Well, the distinction that Mr. Birding was made here, and I thought it's a fine line here, but he was talking about what does it mean to be sovereign, and that is that once the government has been set up, that means that it is ongoing, it is perpetual.
All right.
Okay?
Its existence is assured by the Constitution. It cannot be dismantled.
A homeowner association is different.
Okay.
A homeowner association does not get its authority derived from constitutional law, but rather from common law or contract law. It's important distinction.
Okay.
A homeowner association is, first and foremost, a corporation.
All right.
Corporations are businesses. It can be a for-profit business or a nonprofit. And in this case, it's a nonprofit organization, meaning that doesn't mean they can't take in money. It just means they can't take in more than what they have prescribed of what is needed to meet their obligation in their operating budget.
That's right. They cannot make money. They can't make money. Yeah.
But it is contract law, and with contract law, contracts can be nullified.
All right, sure.
And so you can have the differences. You could have a homeowner association that could actually be disbanded.
That's right.
The United States government It's not going to be
Cannot
disbanded.
be disbanded. That's right. That's right. I've actually had boards or homeowners ask me, is there a way to dissolve our homeowners association? And yes, there is. And it's usually somewhere in your governing documents where it says how that can be done.
Yes. You're absolutely right. But there are some other differences too with a government versus a homeowners association, and it's in how the either the members of the association, what authority they have, and what authority we have as citizens with our country. Some big differences, but we'll cover those after this break.